Parker, it's May 27th. So this video is going to get a little bit, it's also going to contain discussions of periods, so if that's not your thing, I'll make it as not gross as possible. As you may not know, I am in fact the proud owner of a uterus. Just about 50% of the population also has a uterus, and the vast majority of them do also in fact have periods. And so I have in fact noticed the synchronization of periods, be it for whatever reason, but in fact we still don't know if the synchronization of periods is an actual thing or if it's just like something we think is a thing but isn't. There have been conflicting studies. For example, the idea that women do in fact synchronize their periods if they spend enough time together is the McClintock effect. And so like a couple of people have done studies to find that women's periods do loosely coordinate. We think. It's definitely been observed in other mammals, but just not definitively enough in humans. Now we're going to get very briefly into the makeup of a period. The whole thing is part of the menstrual cycle. The period is the beginning. A period usually lasts about a week, give or take a couple of days. Then there is like a window of time when nothing's really going on, and then your fertility window, where I believe ovulation happens. Again, I'm not an expert on periods. I have a uterus, but I don't exactly know. And then after ovulation, you have another period of time, another window of time in which nothing's really going on, and then you have your period again. Your period is basically your body going like, yay, we're not going to be pregnant this month, and flushing an egg away from your body. Ovulation is like your body being like, yeah, we have an egg, if we want to fertilize, we can. As I understand it, again, okay, I didn't even really get comprehensive sex ed in school. This is just what I have gathered from the internet and like Sexplanations and Lacey Green's Sex Plus. So there are two current theories. One is that the biosex females in question, I'm trying to use correct terminology because I know not every woman has a uterus and I know not every uterus owner is a woman. So the biosex females, theory one, that the biosex females in question, after spending enough time together, emit enough pheromones, so to the point that their cycles like sort of even out. For example, say female 1 has her period on the first week of the month, the 1st through 7th day of the month. Of course, it's never that exact. And female 2 has her period from the 8th to the 14th of the month. Possibly their cycles will mesh together and their periods would come from like the 4th to like the 10th. Possibly. The other contrasting theory, and the one that I think is the most prevalent right now, is that there is an idea of an alpha female. For example, take a series of females and rank their fertility on a scale of 1 to 5, as well as their ability to emit pheromones. Like with 1 being the pretty much infertile woman who's leaking, of course, very few pheromones to attract a mate, and 5 being like, you know, very fertile and she is emitting pheromones to attract a mate. And then we also have women 1 through 4 in varying women 2 through 4 in varying states of fertility. The idea is that the alpha female, or female 5, with all the pheromones and fertility, will have everyone else's cycle match up to hers because she is the alpha female. Her cycle is strongest. She is the dominant. To comment on your thing from last video about this possibly being like a breach of ethics, I really don't think it would be a breach of ethics necessarily. There have been studies done on it before. We just really have to tell the women that we are tracking your periods. I mean, pretty much every woman I know tracks their periods anyway because that's a thing you do when you have a uterus. You know, you would just have to get informed consent. You'd have to say, we're tracking your periods. Tell us who you live with, and how many times you interact with men, and how many times you interact with women. Things like that. So that was your brief lesson on periods today. Like I said, there's conflicting research on the idea that periods might or might not synchronize. We don't know yet for definite, or there are at least conflicting studies. Yeah, that's a thing. I will see you tomorrow, Parker, DFTBA. Bye.